Aloha mai kako. Welcome to episode 7 of the Moana Nui Podcast. Today we sit down with Dorphise Jean. Dorphise is the writer and creator of Spiritʻs Destiny and the owner of Gente Entertainment. She aims to give readers of all ages stories and influences that encourage them to learn more about their cultural roots. You can find Dorphise on Facebook at Spiritʻs Destiny Universe and on Instagram at Spiritʻs Destiny Universe. We will also have links in the show notes. Welcome, Dorphise.
How you
How
doing?
are you doing today?
I am doing lovely on this very hot day. Hello, my name is Dorphise Jean. I am the creator and writer of Spiritʻs Destiny, Nia Kaler, and I'm also working on another two more other series of The Adventures of Danielle and Makanda. I don't know if anybody's familiar with Makanda. He's one of the first male voodoo priests who actually helped poison nearly half of the slave masters when they was in Haiti. He actually taught the slaves how to poison their masters in their sleep. And when he was captured, rumored is that they tried to burn him alive and he escaped. So, and they had cut his arm off. So he's one of the very prominent individuals in Haiti. They call him a demon. They say he's my mom doesn't really they never discussed the story with me, so I had to figure it out on my own.
Yeah.
But he's one of the most prominent before the Haitian Revolution. So he was one of the guys who actually assisted, he wanted to make change.
That's awesome. It's funny that you bring up that name because I was actually doing some research on Friday and a little bit yesterday, and his name popped up. So asking Makando. I don't know if I'm saying that right, but
Makanda.
Makanda. Okay, so the L is silent.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So Wakanda, but with the M, kind of.
Yes.
Okay, cool. But you posted some concept art of him at one point, right?
Yes, I did. I posted him. Me and this other Haitian writer, we posted a concept how he would look like during slavery, but we gave him like a suit, like because we made him immortal because he is part of the Spirit's Destiny universe. He's actually going to be like Spirit's guidance, guide counselor. He's very sassy, so he's a very quick, or he's very strategic. I would probably say he's like a Deathstroke, but much more in a good side. But he shows no mercy for anybody because it was rumored that his hand was cut. They cut one. Actually, they cut both of his hands, but the first time we only cut he has they cut off his forearm. So when you see the drawing, you're gonna see he has a mechanical hand. The artist behind that is Julie. Thank God for Julie. She did an amazing job drawing Makanda. She's also Caribbean, so she actually researched. So we gave him dreads, and we just drew him how he would look now, as an immortal, an old grumpy man, like middle aged, but he just doesn't age. He's like a Benjamin Button, that guy that just aged backwards. It's like that. But when I was researching, I'm like, we have all these male prominent, Haitian prominent in our society. I'm like, what about the women? We had women that was fighting in the Haitian Revolution, such as Marie Jean Lemaitre. She was our Haitian modern Mulan. I'll say that. She dressed up in army clothing, and she was fighting along until he died. She also fought during the Haitian Revolution, Suzanne. And I was like, it's only 5, and I'm still researching. There was another one. She was a voodoo priest, like I was speaking. They feel like to self-infidiment, fatiment. They felt like when she was, casting these spells, she gave the military a boost. They feel like she's the reason why they won the Haitian Revolution. I believe there's 2 more. I'm trying to remember. Give me a second to remember because I was literally looking for Haitian female heroes, and that's the only way I was being inspired when I was creating Spirit's Destiny. We don't have no Haitian female superheroes. We have Dr. Voodoo. like, but there's nothing for us women. And I'm like, I
Hmm.
need to create somebody. I'm like, even though she's Haitian American, but I made her grandma another hero. She's very important to the story. I actually grandma is like of another voodoo priest. So these Cecile and Makanda is actually her idols. So she learned everything from them.
So I really liked that when I met the grandmother in the story. Okay.
Everybody loves her.
I do like she's
Everybody loves her.
it's like clear that she's a strong woman. And it's not like she has to really say it. It's just it's subtle, but it's there, you know? Um
Yes. She is the animation version of my late grandmother. I'm like, I had a dedicated character to her. And when I told my mom about it, my mom teared up because my grandma died in 2012, and I said, "Mommy, Spirit's Destiny. I have grandma in it." Because Spirit's mom is my mom. My mom was very, very tough on all her girls, and when I only have one brother, so she was very lenient with him, but she showed us tough love. So if anybody like read into the story, you'll see how hard she's on Destiny. It's like I had to make the characters very authentic, like from my life, because Destiny is something somewhat sort of like me. I'm a goofball. I take things serious sometimes, but that's one of the reasons why I created her. I want her to symbolize me. I'm Haitian American. I just know, you know, so far as much I know about my heritage, but I'm still learning. And I hope other
mhm.
people continue to learn, because a lot of people that's Haitian has been hitting me up. They're like, "Oh my gosh, you created a Haitian hero. I want to do this and that." I'm like, "Go for it," because there's not a lot of Haitian creators. It's me and what's her name? That she works for Marvel? Roxanne.
Okay.
Roxanne Gay.
Yes. And so that kind of hits on, the importance of representation, right? I think for a lot of us indie creators, it's one of the things that drives us to, be brave
Yes.
enough to write our stories and create things because, you keep looking around and it's like, okay, where are the characters and the stories that I can relate to? And that's why I one of the reasons why I wanted to start the podcast because there's so every time I talk to people, they're like, "Oh, can you make a character that looks like me? Can you turn me
Mm-hmm.
into a superhero?" I hear that so much. So despite what the media may say that stories that are led by characters of color won't be successful, I find that to be quite frankly BS. So
That is. You know what? You've been preaching this to me for a while, because when the second Spirit's Destiny campaign came, it was funded quick, like in what, 24 hours, 48 hours. I was shocked
Mhm.
because I was back in the promotion. A few people were, and I was just going hard, and I'm like, okay, other people actually want to read about this. I'm like, I
Right.
need to keep going. I've been in, and and I was like, okay, since I'm regrouping, I got somebody that's like actually is going to guide me the correct way, when it comes to writing, which is
Mhm.
Greg. Greg is my new editor. He's Haitian, so I'm like, okay, he's gonna assist me, and I cannot wait to drop Spirit's Destiny 3 and 4, because I'm like, I'm not gonna drop a Kickstarter and just with 3. I'll just do 3 and 4. But he's been guiding me the correct way, and he actually been educating me on our Haitian roots. So that's one of the reasons why I did hire him as an editor, because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
actually want to learn. If anybody knows about Greg, he's very open about folklore. He always writing about the African folklore, and you can learn a lot from his series. I love his writing. I'm learning so much from him. So you guys will be very surprised the route that I go for issue 3.
Absolutely. So when you say Greg, are you talking about Greg Burnham who does Tuskegee Airs?
Oh, I'm so sorry, Greg Ulysses.
Greg
Ulysses.
Elise. Okay, it's Nana. Okay, yep. Yeah, love his story too.
Yeah,
Amazing. I'm glad you guys are working together.
he's
And it's
like a
really
celebrity.
cool for like an editor to help shape the story. Like just it's just a bonus to have a really good editor who can really round out a story. And the fact that he's also Haitian is amazing.
Yes, that
Yeah.
was that was a bonus right there. I wrote it one way, and then he's been guiding me. I'm like, okay, yeah. Like today, I'm gonna just be finish out the story, and I was like, oh my gosh, Greg really shaping out my story. You know, I've dealt with different editors, but I've never dealt with an editor like Greg. So I was like, I feel like I'm in a great position. Most of my stories are based on women, female superheroes. I do, and my first male hero is Makanda, and I have another one which is my son. My son is special needs, and he's Haitian. So I'm going to get a create a kids comic book based on him and other kids with special needs as superheroes. So I'm just, trying to make sure I create a universe with people that's different, not the same as we all see on TV. Everybody with the blue eyes, blonde hair. Like I'm tired of that. And then with the little stitch braids, like come on, braids are not like that. So and I'm actually crossing over to other cultures. Like I actually asked people, like I created a black Muslim superhero. I went to actual Muslim. I did not Google or anything. I wanted her to educate me what was appropriate, what this and that, because I know they're pacifists. So I'm like, okay, what do you think with this? Is this appropriate? You know, like instead of other people, they just Google. They think this is the right way. No, I'd rather just go like just like for you. I said I want to create a Haitian. I want to create a Hawaiian character. I went straight to you to a resource and you get me
Absolutely.
some books, and that's it. Like, come on, like we gotta respect other people's culture. That's just how I see it.
I totally agree, and I love that you said that because yes, Google and research online is amazing, but um, when you can talk to someone who is of that ethnicity, culture, whatever you might be studying, it's just so much more impactful.
Yes.
Because you want to keep it true to like what they experience, what the story is. I mean, and because it's very like cultural influence is very sensitive area, and you definitely don't want to be offensive, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so, like making that extra effort can only help your story and its acceptance, when it's released out into the public. So I guess one of the things that I like to say, and I don't know if this is true for you, but like I never feel like I am the expert on anything. I'm always learning. And I just hope that,
Yes.
people will be along the journey to learn with me too. Cause that's really,
And that
that's what it's all about, right?
exactly because you could never stop learning about anything. Like I get goosebumps each time I learn about my culture, and I don't want to stop learning because it's so much. Like we're in the 20th century. These people been going through. Well, they went through the Atlantic slave trade back
Mhm.
in the 1400s. I want to learn so much about that, and I'm glad I got the opportunity. I just got hired as a history teacher. I'm going to really tackle these children's mind. But even though it's not world history, it's U.S. history, but still Haitians, we helped out the United States for the Civil Wars, a couple of Civil Wars. If it were Haitians helped out for the Louisiana Purchase for that
Yep.
Civil War. So
Yep.
like a lot of people don't know that. I'm like, go to
Yep.
Louisiana, you will see a couple of statues of soldiers, even Nusan that helped us win the Haitian Revolution. So the Caribbean been helping for the Civil Wars for a very long time, and the way they're being mistreated, I understand how they feel. I wish they would not be so destructive when they're expressing themselves because Haitians they do destruct. They express themselves sometimes through destruction, through words, but they're gonna get something done. They're gonna show that you're gonna hear them out. So that's one of the things that Haitians do. But we people gotta always acknowledge that we want some of the wars that were won was because of the people from the Caribbean. And it's a very dark history between Haiti and different countries because they were the first one to have freedom from
Yep.
slavery. So there's a lot of jealousy. I'll say jealousy. There's a lot of envy, a lot of hatred. There's a lot of Caribbeans that don't like Haiti, and that's fine. People don't know that America stole $9 billion from Haiti. Bully them. Like if you go to Haiti right now, they have a strong hatred for Americans. Me, I have to actually act like I'm from there because they have a lot of strong hatred for Americans. They're like, oh, all you guys do is come here and bully us and exploit us, and that's not everybody's intentions. That no, I know that's not my intentions, but I have family there,
Mhm.
so I'm good. French. The French colony when Haiti beat them to dust. they bully Haiti to pay them for beating them. So it's like, it's crazy. Like, people actually research these things. They'll be like, wow, this country been bullied all their lives. Haiti also helped out Dominican Republic to be who they are right now. Helped them, for slavery, and they're beefing. So it's like, I understand where they're coming from, but I just, I would have done things a different route. But this is what they've been learned to do. They take things into their own hands. They've been fighting all their lives, so you can't really tell them, oh, don't do it this way. I respect my culture. I'm still learning. But yeah, I was shocked about when I heard that the French owe them money, and they've been trying to get their money back. But it is what it is. But I'm not gonna say Haiti has had a lot of corrupted leaders as well. So in all of Haitian history, we only had one female president, and she was just one of the presidents had to step down because he was corrupted, and she took over for like 100 days, and they removed her. So Haiti has a lot of dark eras and have good eras as well.
Sounds familiar what you just said, where they only had one female leader and she was removed. Same thing happened in my culture.
Misogyny runs deep, right? Runs deep in the islands.
And I also like that you brought up Dominican Republic, because I don't think a lot of people realize that like Haiti and Dominican Republic is the same island. Like, it's just divided, and there's such a stark contrast between the two sides, which is also, back deeply rooted into slavery and how the different parts of those islands have evolved, over time. And it's also interesting that you brought out the fact that the French like convinced Haiti to pay them for reparations, basically, which is crap, because I mean, if anybody is owed money, it's the Haitians and the slaves. And my husband and I were just talking about that when I was, doing some prep for today. So
yep, and that's why I said I understand the anger. I really understand the anger. And how they feel. Like they like, I can go to Haiti right now. They're going to educate me, and I want to go when things get a little settled. But I want to learn more because I can get so much from out of a book, but I'd rather go to the books in Haiti because lucky is translated in English. They have their whole libraries and stuff that I actually want to explore and learn from the people there, from the elderlies and stuff. I actually learned a lot from my grandmother before she passed away. My grandmother, she took care of 29 kids, in her village. So, and then she has a house there. So, I want to go back there, and, I want to donate books because I want to translate all the books and donate to them because they're not used to, comics.
Right.
So I want to show that, I want to, give them the opportunity to see, okay, this is the comic book that I created. This is my first Haitian female superhero. This is what we're doing in the States. Hopefully one day we can have a Comic-Con here and we could just build that bridge.
So it sounds like that might be a project we have to like collaborate and work together, because I think in our networks we can put together a pretty good thing.
Yes, everybody will be happy to go to Haiti and then have some fun over there, like authentic food. How can you go over there? They're gonna just have parties all day.
I find that similar in our culture too. Like, we may not have a lot, but we gonna eat good.
Yeah, they're gonna eat good. I'll tell you that. They're gonna make sure you're full at the end of the day.
For sure.
When I went to Haiti, I witnessed them killing a cow in front of me. I was shocked. I was like, wow, the cow was so. And I witnessed them slaughter a pig, chickens, and they cooking it right in front of you. And I was shocked. I'm like, so we don't go to the meat market?
No.
Then I'm like, I don't want to see that. We don't go to the meat market. So they wanted me to see it because they told me this is how their lifestyle. So my mom was just sitting there like it was nothing. I'm like, Mommy, like, you haven't been here in a while. Like, you just sitting here like it's nothing. We go to the meat market. So
yep, that's how it was when I grew up too in the islands. Like, my grandparents had a pig farm basically.
Yeah.
And yep, I saw them, slaughter the pig and hearing all the noises. It just makes you appreciate life more, and like, because you're essentially taking away, the life of an animal so that you can survive, right? So like,
yes,
because things are the way they are now, that kind of connection and understanding has been lost, right? So unless you're, in a community that still hunts, and still does all the things, but most people, right, in modernized cities and things like that, like you said, we go to a meat market, I don't need to see where it comes from, but in some ways you do, because then you appreciate what you have more. That's my opinion. Yeah.
Exactly. Like I'm very appreciative. Like I went there. There was a part in Haiti where they had no toilet. I had to go sit like in the little wooden box just to use it. They gave me a toilet paper. I was like, okay, this is a different lifestyle. It's all different. So
Yes, the outhouse. Oh, my grandma
I'm
had that too.
appreciative.
Yeah, I experienced that when I had traveled overseas, and where was it? I think it was in India, and it was the same thing. It was like, a hole in the ground, and you squat over it, and you might have some toilet paper. I always had toilet paper on me, but
Yeah, you gotta have toilet paper. No matter where you go, have toilet paper. But the experience is like amazing. It's like, okay, this is their lifestyle. Let me embrace it. It's not bad at all. They swim in these rivers. I couldn't swim. They treat you like royalty. They was like, I was 11, 12. They were bathing me. I'm like, mommy, what are you doing? I'm like, I bathe myself. She said, no. She said, I'm from the States. They're gonna treat you like this. She was just paying people. My mom has servants and stuff. I'm like, mommy, what is this? So, I guess because she from the state, they feel like she had money, so she was just passing out money like crazy.
that's interesting. So interesting.
Yeah, they were standing in the line. I didn't know how that much cousins. When I went to Haiti, I didn't know how much I had that much cousins. It was crazy. And my dad, some of his family are from the Bahamas. So
Okay,
yeah, I have a big family. So
same here. Same here. So how often do you get to go back? I mean, before COVID, do you go back regularly or?
I'm gonna tell you, I haven't been back since I was 13. I want to go back so badly. My mom does not want me to go by myself. Like I was gonna take my son. She told me no. She's gonna take her grandchild. I'm like, that's my son. She don't want me going there by myself. And I was gonna go to the resort. There's a resort called La Vida. That's where everybody go to.
Hmm.
Cause she told me, it's not safe for an American to go there. They're gonna try to take advantage and all that. So she said she'd rather me go. She said I'm gonna go somewhere. I have to go to a resort. So my mom is very overprotective of me when it comes to going to Haiti because I really don't know where I'm going. Like my
Right.
cousins, my aunt is there. They can pick me up. My cousins, they all speak English, French, and Spanish, and Creole. So I have no problem when it comes to translation. When I speak to them in English, they reply to me in Creole most of the time because they feel like I should know how to speak Creole more. But they know how to speak all these languages, and they're much more advanced in us, math, everything, compared to people here in the States. Yeah, I was shocked because they was helping me out with homework, and I was up there. So I was there for like almost a month. My mom's, the next time I told my mom I want to go this year or in January. I
Hmm.
told her at least let's go for like 2 weeks, for the experience. I said, but the last time I went, they took all my clothes, and I remind them each time they call. I'm like, yeah, I remember when y'all took my clothes when I was little. I said this time when I go, I'm gonna have a lock on my luggage. I'm gonna give you guys money, but don't take my stuff, man. To this day, they laugh about. I'm like, yo, don't take my clothes.
That's too funny. So going off the family thing, that was a really strong theme in both Spirit's Destiny and Nia Kaler.
Nia Kaler, and the friendship she has with Destiny, you see how their relationship with what their parents are. Greg is going to be the editor for that series as well,
Nice.
and Nia Kaler is gonna be very much part of the Haitian culture because her best friend Spirit, so she's learned that as well. But I wanted to create a strong female series. I have plenty more with different. I wanted to create a diverse female superhero team.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the goal. But my main story, my main comic series is Spirit's Destiny. But I'm bringing other series along with me, and I hope everybody likes it. I'm growing. I'm still growing. I'm taking my time. I'm not gonna rush anything. I feel like I've rushed with some of my work. People don't feel that way because everybody not gonna like your work. But I wanted to grow. I wanted to take my time, learn about the business. I've been learning from you. communication is key, you know. So, learning the delivery process, building my own website. I'm doing everything by myself instead of going through a third party. So I'm still growing. I didn't know how important comics were to people until I actually went to a Comic-Con. My biggest Comic-Con that I went to was in C2E2. That was very overwhelming. Very overwhelming moment of my life. I was with Greg. Greg is very annoying. I was tired. My feet was hurting for those 3 to 4 days. I'm like, Greg, how do you do this? He's like, you gotta hustle. We all sold out. There's people that's very interested in reading from other indie indie creatives. So I was happy about that. Like, people that was walking up to me like, oh, you're Haitian? Oh, I think it's Haitian superhero. I'm from here. There's not a lot of us in here. I'm like, what? And I just, I was selling books like crazy. I was the first one to sell books, by the way. So I was happy about that. But thank God for Greg and Jiba. So I learned a lot that day.
Yeah, that's awesome. I've never been to C2E2 myself, but I do know that, yes, those larger cons are definitely different than your typical hometown ones. We do New York Comic Con, and that one, same thing, a whole lot of people, but it's amazing because you get a lot of foot traffic, you get to talk to a lot of people. But it is exhausting, definitely.
Yeah, I was so tired. I had to keep stepping. I'm like, man, I need to step away from the table. I had to step away from the table a couple of times. I told myself I'm not going there by myself again because my friends wanted to come. So now, if I do get another table from C2E2, I'm gonna try to get 2 tables, and I'm gonna tell you, Moana, if you want a table, go ahead, cause I'll try to get 2 tables, cause Greg already called dibs.
So, with Spirit's Destiny and Nia Taylor, I read them both again side by side. And so I have a question. Does the events of Spirit's Destiny, is that chronologically, is that before Nia Taylor or okay.
That is actually okay. Like, for Nia Kaler, after they beat up with Spirit, you see it's happening at the same time. So it's going. You're not in like my next issue. You're not gonna see Spirit at all because that's when the issue 2 happened. So she's not gonna be there, but she's going to find out what happened to Spirit. But she's not going to be there. So yeah, it happened at the same time. They both go to the same school together. So, but as you can see, they're both rebellious, very hard headed, and you see how their parents are. Their parents do not play at all. But you're going to like the father. The father is the main character. The arc is surrounded by, for Nia Kelly, the arc is surrounded by the father. It's up to the audience to figure out if he's a good guy or a bad guy. So yeah. So you guys going to figure that out for issue 2, if he's a good guy or he a bad guy. I think Nia Kaler, her story, I feel like I'm going to do a better job with issue 2 because I was by myself. I just wanted to write this story because it's been sitting on the shelf for so long. Like, I have several stories that's sitting on the shelf, and I'm like, no, I need to actually, get them out. Like, I have another character called Black Caesar. I don't know if anybody's seen it. She's a Haitian pirate. I actually named her after a Haitian pirate that was also prominent in the Haitian Revolution that actually helped. And we have there's a myth about that there's treasure in an island in Haiti where pirates hide their treasure there. So that going to be part of her storyline right now. Like when I posted her, somebody already contacted me saying that, oh, they want her to an anthology. I'm like, I just posted her. I'm like, I didn't even post anything about her, but they like her look. So yeah, so I have to write that today, the 6-pager. But I'm gonna come out with a comic book about her because she's also a part of another comic book series. It's a pirate horror comic book series. It's gonna be a female a Jamaican, I believe she's Trinidad, or the lead a pirate is a woman. So she's very dangerous, very strategic, and there's a lot of voodoo in there. So it's a mythical pirate story. I'm actually watching Pirates of the Caribbean for me to research before I even write. Yeah, because Julie told me that's the best. Yes, Lavanda. Yes, that's one. This Marcus came up with this character right here. She's amazing. I called her Black Caesar.
Black Caesar, okay.
Yes,
Gotcha.
she's named after a prominent black pirate that helped us out for the Haitian Revolution. She's actually very dangerous as well. She may look sweet in the face, but you know what pirates do. They're thieves. They steal for their own greed. So, I want to, I just feel like we need more pirates that look like us as well too. There was a lot of female pirates, but they're not really represented. But in the Pirates Caribbean, they did a good job. That's why I gotta finish watching that movie. They did a good job. I'm actually researching a lot.
Yeah, so like another one, like I'm a big fan of Pirates of the Caribbean, but the other show that I really like was Black Sails, and I don't know if they based that character on a real person, but I love that character.
Okay, now I gotta watch Black Cells. Thank
Yeah,
you.
you gotta.
I gotta watch Black Cells now. I like to research before a character because I want to get in the zone. Because I write as a reader because we like to ask questions, and
Yeah.
I'm like, I want to get some inspiration from different dialogue from movies, books, anything. So I'm gonna watch Black Cells. Like I'm actually writing I just got hired to write a Black Assassin, and I gotta watch that movie with Taraji Penha when she's an assassin, because she's an assassin and she's a mother. I'm like, okay, let me read. Julie recommended watch that movie. I'm like, let me go watch this movie.
What's it called again?
I forgot. We got to get back to that. But
Okay.
If you look it up, it's a movie from Taraji Penha. She's an assassin.
Gotcha.
I just forgot the name of the movie.
No worries.
Yeah.
No worries.
Yeah, I know you got to find out right now. Is it Mary Jane? Is it something about Mary Jane? Something like that.
Oh, that sounds right. Mary Jane. Maybe. We'll find it. And we'll post it up in the comments or the links later.
Yes, because I gotta watch that movie as well. I have a lot of movies to watch. I don't watch TV, so that's another iffy thing about myself. I'm trying to go back to watching TV. I'm trying to get back into actually working on animation, because I used to do animation reels in school. I haven't graduated yet, but I was learning how to do 3D animation. So I'm like, I want to go back to it. One of my goals right now is to come out with a, probably like a 15-20 minute animation series. I want to pick a few indie characters, because this is the dark time of Destiny, when she become dark, and I'm like, I'm gonna need a few indie characters, superheroes, to take her down. So I'm like, I got a few. I know I need to talk to you about that. But I think it's gonna be a good animation movie. I just want the art to look good. I'm actually been looking into Haiti. I'm like, let me see if I can get somebody, people over there to learn how to draw. Even if I have to buy them like a tablet, an iPad, or get somebody to donate some iPads to them, they can learn, and you just go from there. Because it's so easy to do animation now. So much programs just to get it done.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's an area where I would like to take the Wildcard Chronicles as well. Just like trying to manage the time across everything is the hard part.
Exactly.
Sure
Yes, because Maya, the program the industry uses Maya, and it's very time consuming, because you gotta sculpt the face, and some people use Blender, but I use the industry program, and I think you learn a lot from it, the trials and errors, and then you're gonna learn how to reel, how to make them walk, and all that stuff. I have the reels from school that I think I need to master. I need to get better at, and I'm in a few Facebook groups, but it is time consuming. So I wanted to at least finish writing, get most of my writing out the way, and then get back to that, because I was in film class as well. I was learning how to write movies. I have a few movie scripts that I need to write, that I need to really tackle down. Like, I'm kind of glad that I'm a teacher now, because all I'm gonna be doing is writing. Wow.
Well, what age are the students that you're gonna be teaching?
They gave me 8th grade. Grade.
Girl, that's when you see right now, what you need to be doing is you need to give them your little research projects. Like, okay, this is your assignment.
Yes. Like, October is Hispanic Heritage Month. I'm already thinking about, like, okay, I need to narrow them down which historical Hispanic person they can use. So there's that. It's a lot. Because this is my first year, so I want them to enjoy it, because not a lot of people enjoy history. Everybody say, oh, it's boring and all that. I'm like, come on now. I enjoyed history. I hated math. Math was something I hated, but history was one of my favorite subjects. So I just want everybody to enjoy it. That's part of the goal. That's one of the reasons why they hired me, because I told them I love history, and I want to play Assassin's Creed. You play Assassin's Creed?
I have not played it in a really long time, but yes, I love that video game. The visuals are amazing.
Yes. Yeah. You see how Black Flag it spoke about Haiti historic moment. And I'm like, I could play this video for the kids so they won't get bored. They're like, okay, this is Assassin's Creed. Oh, she playing this Assassin's Creed for us. So yeah, that's what I like about Assassin's Creed, because it actually have historical moments where it's actually educating people that people don't realize, like, is actually facts. Yes, people don't think, they think it's just fiction. They think it's non-fiction. I'm like, no, this is real. These are facts that they're actually replaying. They're replaying history for us, and I really enjoy that about them, because I already have that video out, so these kids can actually watch it one of these days. I totally recommend Black Flag for everybody.
Black Flag. Let me try that out.
Yes,
Oh, and somebody said the movie that you were talking about earlier is called Proud Mary.
Oh, see, I know it's Mary something. Thank you.
That was my hub. He's my movie and TV and TV show and everything encyclopedia. Like, whenever I need the answer, I'm like, hey babe, what's the answer to this? Who is that person that was on la 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 la? And he's like, oh, that's so and so.
I need to watch that.
Yeah, I haven't watched it either, but I definitely want to. Well, I actually love that you're going to be a teacher and that you're thinking creatively about like how to get the kids interested in history, because most of history is focused on, like American and Western perspective.
No. I'm going to go with the curriculum, but I'm going to expand their minds.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm going to go by the curriculum, but I'm going to expand their minds because, like, come on, like, there's a lot of stuff we did not learn. Like, they will talk about Toussaint, but they don't elaborate what he did. So they didn't learn about these stuff. And this is 8th grade. When they get to 9th grade, the history is much more elaborated. They sugarcoat it in elementary, middle school. They give a little detail, but high school is elaborated as much as that they can. Watch. Like I watched Roots when I was in high school, and I'm like, I know, I'm watching. I'm like, is this true? Is this a true story? And then when my teacher said, yeah, I was like, wow, they really cut Toby feet off Kuta Kinte. It was crazy. And I was happy for that experience.
That's awesome. Congratulations on this new path in life for you. That's awesome.
Of course. Thank you.
So I think we're coming up on our time. So I guess what is the next project that you'll be working on? I know you've talked about a whole bunch, but what are you excited about the most?
I'm excited about Spiritʻs Destiny 3. Also the one short of for the grandma Danielle, for her story as a voodoo priest, because voodoo is actually credited as being bad instead of good, because people realize people used to use voodoo just to heal folks, and they don't understand. They just label it as a bad thing. So when people start researching, I'm like, I suggest you start researching and actually go to a voodoo priest. I'm like, some people get voodoo just for luck. It's just all about belief. Also, I'm working on, my Muslim story. That's another one I want to work on. I'm excited about. But the number one thing I'm really excited about, my son's children comic book, because I'm actually branching out into much more friendly type of genre. My son has special needs. He had traumatic brain injury. So, it's like he has a stroke, but he's very mobile. And I just wanted to influence other kids. I've actually worked with other kids with special needs. So that's what also inspired me, because I work with, kids with autism, kids that's blind, different type of children. I'm like, these kids are superheroes. I'm like, they don't complain about their disabilities. Yes. And they need to be represented as well. So they're excited about that.
Yeah, I love it, because that's one of the things that we are trying to do with the Wildcard Chronicles too. We'll have, we'll deal with those issues as well, autism and special needs, and really showing like the resiliency of, our characters and how the struggles, make them stronger. And, having life handed to you is not a way to be a survivor,
Exactly. Like my first Kickstarter, my son, he accidentally shot himself in the head, and that was my first Kickstarter. And when that story broke out, I told my backers that I'm going to continue. I'm going. My son's in the hospital fighting for his life, but I'll continue to ship out your books. They told me no. All my backers messaged me and said, no, focus on your son. Right. And so I was in the hospital for like 4.5 months. So 2 months later, I'm like, I'm going to start shipping. They still didn't want me to do anything, but me, in my heart, I'm like, no, because I know what it's like not to receive your stuff, especially when you investing in people. So I was shipping out their stuff, but it was very, very, very reasonable. That's why every year in August, I get a little gloomy because that's the time when the accident happened, and he's still here. He's the reason why I have Spirit's Destiny. So that's why I'm like, I have to come out with his own book. I actually got this illustration done of him, and he loves it. I show his dad, and so I'm like, okay, this is going to be your character. Your character is much more powerful than mommy because you're strong. So he's excited about that. I'm trying to whenever I get that done, I have that kick started, and hopefully I can inspire other children because I've worked with special needs children and I love them. They really, really inspire me.
Absolutely. I love it. Well, I hope that you will let us know when that Kickstarter is ready because we will be happy to support and also share it around, spread word about the wonderful work that you are creating.
Thank you.
So before we end today, where can people find you online? Do you have a website, social media? Where's the best to find you?
Okay. You can find me. I'm gonna put a landing page probably today or tomorrow, but my website is going to be Melanin She Writes. The best place to find me is on Twitter, Spirit's Destiny U, or Instagram, Spirit's Destiny Universe. I'm always on all platforms. Also, you can also contact me on Facebook, Spirit's Destiny Universe, and I also have my personal Facebook, Dorphise Jean. Yeah, I'm very outspoken, so go to my friendly social media pages. Moana know how I am, but you might. So if you want it friendly, go to my social media pages. Once again, IG Spirit's Destiny Universe, Twitter Spirit's Destiny U, and Facebook Spirit's Destiny Universe. You can contact me there. I have books. I need to order some more. I'm still shipping out. Just let me know what you want. I have digital and physical.
Well, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming on and just sharing just a little bit about Haiti and your ethnic culture and your heritage and about all the projects that you're working on. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
And
appreciate you.
yeah, good luck on your next writing project and getting focused back into that.
I know.
I will be right there with you. So
Of course.
I'm looking forward to seeing it.
Thank you. Appreciate you.
All right.
Appreciate everybody that was listening.
Yes, thank you to our listeners and to everyone who joined us on Facebook. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Moana McAdams, host of the Moana Nui Podcast. You can find me online at www.moanamcadams.com. And you can follow me on social media. On Instagram, I am at The Real Life Moana. And on Facebook, you can find me at, we have multiple pages, Wildcard Chronicles for our comic book series, as well as The Adventures of Nakoa and Nohea for our children's book series. Please give us a follow, give us a like, send us feedback on what you guys would like to hear about or talk about. If you have topics that you would like us to discuss on the podcast, you send them my way. You can also email me, moana@burningspiritcomics.com. And I look forward to hearing from all of you. And so with that, take care. Malama pono.